Aren't we always live? It seems like it when I'm hanging out with you, David, but welcome everybody to another live stream. Our first twice in 1 week live stream, but we had such a good time last time that I thought, why not do this again? How are you today, David?
I am doing fine. How are you?
I'm also doing fine.
Yeah. Not a very good engaging live stream answer, is it? I should have came prepared with an anecdote, but
well, I just sprung that on you out of nowhere. That's all right. How are the cats?
They are asleep.
Okay, perfect. One word answers from David Lynch. How are you?
Yep.
Fine. So, glad that you're all here today. David invited us to come to the dark side and show us your voiceover skills. We would love to do... I don't know why that's the dark side, though. Is voiceover the dark side?
We should try a video essay sort of format and
I don't even
do a voiceover.
Video essays are the YouTube videos that you see that are historical compilations, and then people just voice over the whole thing, right?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
That's what you mean?
Not necessarily historical, but yeah.
Okay, right. All right. With a screen curtain DL, you can't cheat. I don't know what that means. Do you? David Chandler. Oh, DI. Screen curtain DI.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. David, you're confusing us. John the Marine is here. Thank you for your service, John, and for being here. It is much appreciated. And Gavin was here earlier looking for some help because some of our videos are too fast. We do have channel memberships where we make PDFs of our most popular videos, and you might like those. David had a few shout outs and thank yous, I think.
Yeah, we had a few new members join over the past couple of days. We've got Rodney Pinner, who rejoined yesterday. Tammy, who was at our last live stream, gave us a nice super chat and also joined the channel, which is much appreciated. And Cals, who joined the channel 2 days ago. So thank you to those three and everyone else who's a channel member. And you can click that big join button below to
it means
get a whole bunch of cool stuff.
And also, it means a lot. Chuck, thanks so much for the compliment. Chuck in Arkansas, welcome. And Lucky from Bangladesh. Two places that are rather far apart. But look at YouTube, bringing us all together. That's awesome.
International.
Blind typo, so you can't cheat. David, Chandler, you're confusing us. We're going to the first topic, the lead story of today. The very public Google Bard, which is their new AI, fail. And is there a conspiracy behind this, David? Let's start by showing people the actual tweet that they sent out. Zach?
While you're doing that, a couple, Jennifer, love you guys, appreciate it, and Ian GT, channel member. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, so Google tweeted this the other day, sorry. Bard is an experimental conversational AI service powered by Lambda. Built using our large language models and drawing on information from the web, it's a launchpad for curiosity and can help simplify complex topics. Sounds a lot like ChatGPT. So then they have a little example. Sorry about the blurriness here, but it is what it is. So what new discoveries from the James Webb Space Telescope can I tell my 9-year-old about? Oh, your 9-year-old might like this one. And the third one is JWST took the very first pictures of a planet outside of our solar system. These distant worlds are called exoplanets. Exo means from outside. It's a great answer if it was truthful, but it's not. It's wrong. The JWST did not take the first pictures of exoplanets. That happened in 2004. And curiously, if you were to type that in Google search, you get the right answer, the correct answer. What do you think, David? Did they do this on purpose?
I mean, probably did it on purpose, yeah.
You actually think you agree with my conspiracy?
They know what they're doing, but you know, the chat GPT and those AI chatbots are not nearly as good as search quite yet.
For sure, but see, that right there, that thinking, I think is what they want to reinforce. Because all of a sudden, ChatGPT comes out of nowhere, gets more users in the first few months than Instagram got. So everybody's talking about these chatbot AIs. Google comes out and has an example of one that's very public that is reinforcing the idea that chatbots aren't ready, which not only undercuts their own product, but also undercuts all of the chatbot AI products by giving the impression that they're all not ready.
True.
So I think it could be a way, sort of an accident on purpose, to trick people into saying not trusting any chatbots and steering them back toward Google search, which, oh, by the way, has the right answer. And part of what struck me is that Google actually said this highlights the importance of a rigorous testing process, something that we're kicking off this week with our Trusted Tester program. We want to meet a high bar for quality, safety, and groundedness in real-world information, aka not lying. So I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory. I don't know if it's a marketing trick that they're doing to kind of undercut the whole AI system until theirs is ready, and then they can come out and say, like, oh, we built one that works. Could be a little bit conspiracy theory. The thing that works against my theory, I think, is that their stock, Google's stock, fell 9% after this story broke. And I don't think it's legal to purposefully, manipulate a stock price or to, because you're responsible legally to the shareholders, I think. Now I'm talking about stuff I don't really know. So maybe you know.
Well, this is not financial advice. We should probably say that first. But in my opinion, as a non-financial advisor, I think this is the perfect time to buy Google stock. It's stupid overreaction. Yeah, it's on sale.
Exactly. Google sale. Not financial advice.
I think it's already going back up, by the way. It's
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was thinking about that. It would have been a good idea to buy it yesterday. The people were saying that they find our videos useful. Hey, Chelsea from Southern Ontario, Canada. Lucky, it's a shame your content is so good, but the YouTube algorithm doesn't really reach this far very often. Well, thank you. ChatGPT is not 100% accurate, but its answer was awesome for this one, says NI3 Tech. Yep. Renee says, keep in mind that Earth is not a spinning ball tumbling towards a black hole. Earth is flat, non-rotating, and in the center of the whole universe.
Disagree with that.
And then Conever says, as usual with all new hype tech, it's just 5 years away and will stay that way.
I've seen some people comparing the GPT and AI phenomenon to voice assistants when they first came out, and everyone's like, oh, this will be the next big thing. And then here we are 10 years later, and it's still not
how much better are they now than they were 10 years ago?
I don't know.
I don't think they're that much better. I mean,
Right.
10 years ago, we could set alarms. I still don't really trust it for making calendar events because it seems to not really put it in the right place. I do think that the voiceover, the ChatGPT is a lot better than, it's a lot more useful for us anyway. So for instance, I used AI to come up with very quick summaries of some of the stories that we're going to talk about. I also used AI to generate a description of the YouTube video that you're seeing right now. I then edited all of the things because it doesn't come back in a way that I can just copy and paste it. But it did do some of the grunt work. So I stepped more into an editor role, which I kind of like. It speeds up the process.
Well, if you're a young person out there watching, I think there's going to be a big market for people who are good at fact checking and editing AI mistakes, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, fact checking. John Wilson says, good morning from sunny Arkansas. Yes, we have tech in Arkansas. We know you have tech in Arkansas. Otherwise, how would we know that you're here?
Sean Baldwin, the 4.0 version of ChatGPT is supposed to be much better than previous versions. Any opinion on that? Do you know when the new version will be out?
So we don't know, but we do know that Bing is using it for their search. And that is a little bit contentious for us because we have websites, payitforward.com, upphone.com, that get millions of people per month, and we help them with articles. Now, instead of sending people to our websites, Bing and Google are going to be ingesting the content on our websites and then just spitting it back out in other words that people can understand. And therefore, we don't make our half a cent when you go to our website, but all those little half a cents add up over time. So I think there is going to be kind of an ethical debate around whether it's okay for AI to use human-generated content to just ingest it and then spit it right back out again programmatically without giving the humans that actually created the content any credit.
I think that debate already started. Yeah, but
thank you, David. That's very helpful.
Yeah. With the art. I think they've just kind of gone full steam ahead and not really cared about the potential ethical questions of it.
That's for sure. T. Davis says, good morning, love your channel, 5 stars. Thank you. I give your comment 5 stars. David Chandler, hello from Southeast England, Maidstone, Kent. And Suzanne asks, isn't that plagiarism? And I think that becomes the question. That does become the question, because if we're totally honest about it, and I don't want you to go tell this to anybody, guys, if we're totally honest about it, our articles it's not secret information. It's information that we're presenting in a way that is accessible, for everybody, not just a list of steps that are very technical and people don't understand why they work. We also write conversationally, and then also I'm drawing upon my experience as an Apple Store tech to sort of cut through the Apple support articles where they'll say something works, but in real life it doesn't, or they won't mention a step that does work because it's not supposed to have to work. So I don't know. Is it plagiarism, David?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they're taking it without any consent, and
Trill Johnson says, it's funny, crazy how I trust you guys wholeheartedly with everything iPhone, but I won't even believe half of what Apple says most time. Trusting everything we say about anything, Trill, is funny and crazy. We'll tell you that much. And oh my gosh, those guys, says Hamid F with a melty face.
How likely will fact-checking AI performing fact-checking against AI come about within the next year? So you can have AI fact-checking AI and just a endless loop. That could be interesting.
Well, sometimes when I talk to AI, and I created a shortcut on my phone that lets me talk directly to ChatGPT and have a conversation with it, which is endlessly more interesting than a Siri conversation that happens. I say something, she says something, and then gets amnesia about what I just said. How likely is it that this is going to work? Sometimes I ask, is what you're saying to me true? But even if they say yes, or I say, is there scientific proof behind what you're saying to me? Even if they say yes, I don't really trust it at this point. So there might be a fact-checking AI, but then we have to trust the fact-checkers, right?
You have to trust who is creating that AI and what parameters they're using to develop the AI to fact-check the information. It's a slippery slope.
And with ChatGPT and with the OpenAI models, as they're called, these AI models, you can set whether you want it to be creative in its response, aka take a shot at it, or if you only want it to return information that it's absolutely sure about. And it's called a probability score, I believe. And you can set it to only return information it knows about. I haven't tested that to see if it's ever wrong yet. I think a lot of the ChatGPT stuff is sort of somewhere in the middle, because if it only is giving information it knows is correct, then it's going to be regurgitating the same thing over and over again, and it could just be less interesting to people. Because it's an interesting debate, right? Like going on the computer and typing in, hey, I don't know, tell me, does transcranial magnetic stimulation treat spinal stenosis? And then seeing what it says. And it comes back with a bunch of medical information. I was searching on my dad's behalf the other day, and I don't know if it's right. I ask it if it's right.
I would consult the doctor with that question.
Thank you, David. Yes, we do. My dad does that as well, but doctors, what do they know? Hey, from UK, I can't pronounce your town, Kent. Sorry.
Greenhithe?
Yeah.
Kent.
Good morning. Listening here from Arkansas. You're both so educational to me and appreciate your research work. You got it. RN Kim says, soon AI will monitor your purchases to see if you're in compliance with carbon footprint or whether you use too much electricity with your smart meter. It's interesting because my Google Nest already does that. Go ahead.
I was going to say that sounds like the plot of a potential sci-fi film.
Well, sure. Yeah, Google Nest already rewards me if I use less energy during peak times. And actually, it's National Grid. They give me a $10 credit or something. So I said, yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, you probably can get Netflix to sign on with Gerard Butler. He's in a lot of disaster movies these days, and
I love
pitch
him.
that to them. I think they might pick that up.
I love Gerard Butler. Just for the record, I find all of his movies to be like, I feel like he doesn't take himself too seriously, and his movies are just very entertaining across the board. How do we know AI never lies? Nobody's saying that AI never lies at this point. Who is Samuel Butler? Gerard Butler. Samuel Butler is his long-lost cousin. The fact
I was
checker
actually just looking that up. I think a novelist from the 19th century.
Yeah, he's one of the greats. Does iPhone Ultra cost $2,000? I wouldn't be surprised. And we could. There are more iPhone Ultra rumors coming out right now. We could definitely pivot to that story, David.
What's the top cost for a 14 Pro Max?
I think it's
1 terabyte or whatever.
$15.99.
Yes, I mean a $2,000 iPhone Ultra certainly sounds possible. I don't know who's going to buy that phone, but it won't be me.
Yeah, the top, $15.99. Yep. So, hi guys, recommend your video to thousands months ago. Thank you. Glad to see you climbing in the charts. We try. We are trying, and there is all kinds of worldwide legislation, to censor language and topics, especially in the light of war and conflict. Difficult to understand how people can be in favor of this. And AJ says, I think iPhone Ultra is too much. Apple is absolutely out of their mind.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's not even out yet. Maybe they're going to come out and surprise us with a affordable, awesome phone.
Yeah, and I just, my fear for Apple is that they're going to make the Pro models worse and then have an Ultra and water down their Pro models. And I don't know. We'll see what the lineup is. Yeah, for sure. The Apple Watch Ultra is a little bigger, but has a crazy battery life. And I wonder if that's what they're going to do with the iPhone Ultra, is make it a little thicker, but give it a 2-day battery. Because that would really be something. What do you think, David? Yeah, I mean, I think it would be hard to promise that. A 2-day battery? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Apple Watch isn't as prone to software crashes as an iPhone might be. And I could picture that going very wrong if they're trying to overpromise on battery life, and especially if the phone ends up being like $2,000 and it doesn't last people 2 days, they're going to get a lot of complaints on that. Yeah, it's true. Kay Nagel, welcome back, Kay. A frequent chatter with us. I hate my iPhone 11. I hate iPhone, period. Well, Kay, that's a fair assessment. That there are a lot of alternatives out there. There are, yeah. But you might hate those too, though. That's the problem. They're all pretty hateable for one reason or another. Come to Australia. High-spec iPhones and Galaxies already cost well over $2,000. Yikes! That stinks. Yeah. No, that's awful. We'll send you one. Just send us a couple grand. Kay says thanks. And again, our dollar is worth dirt. The dollary-do, I believe, is the Australian. The dollary-do? I had a friend from Australia used to say, "Dink and dive." Call me Dive. Dive it. Yep. So what's our next topic that we're going to talk about, David? Where do you want to go from here? We've got a lot of different stuff we can talk about. Should I choose? Where do we go from here? Okay, under-screen Face ID. Under-screen Face ID patent describes what could be a next-generation dynamic island. So a lot of the time Apple comes out with, there's a website called Patently Apple, which is fabulous, and they just sort of keep an eye on the USPTO, the patent office, and they check to see what Apple's patenting, and they have a lot of interesting information there. So an under-screen Face ID patent, we could be heading toward a day where there's not just a dynamic island. There's just nothing on the screen. It's just totally flat. And my question to all of you would be, would you ditch your current iPhone if it was just top to bottom screen, or are you cool with dynamic island with a notch? Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think it'd be kind of silly for Apple to do away with the notch so soon. after spending so much time. And I just think it has a lot of potential, and they could continue developing that and keep it around.
You mean Dynamic Island?
Dynamic Island.
Yep. The sensors of the display that could be hidden, including Touch ID. They're thinking about that. Sensors for measuring three-dimensional non-contact gestures or air gestures. Interesting. So you could have your phone on the table and just sort of swipe it one way or swipe it the other way. I can hit the microphone another way. You could, I mean, it would actually open up a whole new type of game. You could be a conductor, conduct the symphony, kind of with a 3D sensor pointing up. I don't know why that doesn't exist already. Sounds like kind of a fun thing. Tabletop games.
Yeah.
Or for people that use Tinder, they could just swipe left or right with their hands. No more thumb tiredness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So also sensors for detecting position, orientation, motion, accelerometers, magnetic sensors. Basically,
like
I think,
a lot of fancy new ways for advertising companies to track you.
Yeah, I think that, that's true. And I think that 9to5Mac went on AI and typed in like different types of phone sensors, and then they just listed them all. So I'm not too excited about it. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Just because Apple comes out with a patent, though, doesn't mean it's in the works immediately or ever. Sometimes they just patent block. They talk about patent trolls. So Apple's not really a patent troll because they're making up a lot of great patents and inventing information. I remember when I was at the Apple store, I think it was $5,000 if you came up with an idea that they eventually patented. Like there's a form where employees can submit ideas that then are not their ideas anymore. And also when you sign on to Apple, even as an Apple Store employee, you sign over the rights for any idea that you have to Apple so that they can run with it. Because they don't want you inventing things on your own based on your experience there, which is understandable.
Surprised that's legal, but...
oh, yeah, it's legal. No, I mean, like, it makes sense, though. Apple pays somebody a bunch of money and trains them with a bunch of their technology. You know, then they have an idea based on their experience with their technology. It makes sense that Apple would not want them to just be like, oh, I'm just going to take this and start my own company. So,
I suppose.
All right. AJ says iPhone battery is garbage. Sorry, guys. We're sorry too, AJ.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I will save my money for that change. The Dynamic Island doesn't bother me that much. No, I wouldn't jump ship for that, says MIKL dude. It's kind of like milk backwards. The notch is no big deal for me. Wouldn't spend hundreds of dollars because of it, says Rick. NI3 Tech says I used the iPhone 13 Pro for the last 6 months. I used your battery saving tips, and my 13 Pro battery is still 100%. Love from India.
I feel like the notch, people were dissing on it early on, and there was even that Samsung ad with the guy with the haircut that looked like a notch. And I think if you just ask regular people, they're like, no, it doesn't bother us at all. So I don't know. Seems like kind of a manufactured controversy.
Yeah, I think it's a great example of marketing where they took a feature that people would complain about and turned it, or a problem, and turned it into a feature that would be useful for people. Talk about seamless integration between their hardware and software. Thanks, Apple.
K Nagel, I went out to check my gutters after a big rain. I was talking about it, walking around the house. When I came in the house, there were 7 ads for gutters on my phone. So it depends on the type of what systems you have. Like Amazon Alexa will use voice queries to build an advertising profile, whereas Siri will not. I think Google does as well, right? Google, I'm not sure about Google. Siri does not. One thing that could be interesting here, though, is I wonder if the advertising companies were so advanced that they saw there's big storm in the area, and a lot of phones in the area near you were also looking into new gutters, and then maybe they were able to tell your location and therefore deliver you the gutter ads. Could be a possibility. Yeah, they probably know that you're a homeowner, right? And also they absolutely can target based on weather. So if it's a ton of rain, also
You probably fit the profile of someone who's interested in gutters. And I mean, even if it's by neighborhood, they can see when neighborhoods are built. That's public information. So they could say, all right, homes that are this old. And really, it's just that type of micro-targeting that they can do, which is
they've got a lot of ability. They got a lot of ability to deliver you ads.
Right, without spying on you specifically because of all the public information that's there. And AI is going to take that to the next level. Absolutely. Suzanne thanks us for the battery-saving ideas. We appreciate that. Kay did as well, and
a lot of people here watching our videos. We appreciate that. I'm glad you're finding them helpful.
Yeah, they're watching one right now. MIKL Dude says he prefers the notch.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't.
Dynamic Island. Yeah, I like Dynamic Island more. I'm a big fan, but I do like MIKL's little profile picture there. It's pretty. With the sunset going on. Very pretty. Yeah. So next story. iPhone reverse wireless charging development continues after Apple missed their target.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit in the last live stream, reverse wireless charging. Essentially, you could put your AirPods case, for example, on the back of your iPhone to charge it up nice and quick. Or another phone, or any Qi device, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that'll be very interesting to see if that happens. And we talked about putting phones back to back to charge them. And the other thing that I thought of as I was listening, but what if it's the reverse of the reverse wireless charging, where the AirPods case obviously has a battery pack built in? What if your iPhone is in a pinch, you can use the AirPods case to charge your iPhone?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that would work.
That'd be cool.
I wonder if they could build in a setting, I want to charge another device, or I want my device to be charged, and you just toggle that on and off. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know how much iPhone battery life you'd get out of your AirPods case, but
yeah, I'm thinking like in an emergency or something, you could like power it up and then make a phone call or something.
Yeah.
Could be cool. Mm-hmm. Rusty says he could care less about the black hole at the top of his screen. And AJ says he loved Touch ID and hopes that they'll implement it again on the screen or under the screen is what's going to happen. And I think it works great on Samsung phones. It's just that the security of the sensors on Samsung phones is not as secure as the Apple security with Face ID or Apple Pay. And you could tell because they don't let you use that stuff to use Samsung Smart Pay. Apple does with Face ID.
Yeah, well, Face ID is just, I forget what the exact number is, but it's a lot more secure than Touch ID.
Yeah, it's like Touch ID is 1 in 1,000, Face ID is 1 in 1,000,000. It's 1,000 times more secure.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, why not? Pixel 7 phones are the best deal in town. In some ways more advanced than the iPhone when it comes to AI. Absolutely, can't argue with that. The phone app in the Pixel 7 Pro is pretty impressive. Like when you dial the IRS and it says, for this, press 1, for this, press 2, it shows up with an actual text menu on the screen that then you can tap on the individual ones and navigate a menu that way. And it'll call you back if you're stuck on hold. It'll call you back when the hold is over. So it really is kind of cool what Google's doing. Also, Google, I believe, is going to announce the next level of their duplex technology, and that's the thing that can call and make reservations for you or cancel your flights or maybe
if I had to get an Android, I'd get Google Pixel for sure.
Yeah, it's a great phone for sure, and it's affordable too. They kept the price down, which I appreciate. Yep. Shall we continue, David?
Yeah.
All right. Apple releases tvOS 16.3.1 and HomePod 16.3.1 software updates. And Apple was kind enough to send us a pair of the new HomePods to try out. And I brought in just one. This is the white one they sent. They also sent us a black one.
I like the white. I think the white one looks a little bit sleeker than the black one. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm used to seeing the black ones. I don't know.
Here's a black mini for comparison.
Yeah.
Just imagine it doesn't have a cable pointing that way. But yeah, I mean, the white is pretty slick, for sure. And I can say things like, "Hey Siri, play forest sounds." See how well that worked? "Hey Siri, play forest sounds." There we go.
Now playing forest.
Hello, everyone. We can observe the native YouTuber in its habitat. David Lynch.
All the West Coast
pack.
people, all the West Coast people who logged on at 8 a.m. are drifting back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some complaints about the time that we're doing this stream today because people are at work, like us. But people are at work on the East Coast. We're going to be experimenting with some different time streams, and people can vote with their feet, kind of like show up to the live streams, and then we'll identify which times are the best for the most people, because the more people watch us, the more money we make, theoretically. Hashtag super chats, hashtag channel memberships. But we do want to make as many people as happy as possible, and also the live streams that go smoothly, like this one so far, are going to end up on the channel so that you can rewatch them at your leisure.
Yes. Got a lot
Pebbles
of
Bam
chat. Got a
Good
lot of chat to
morning.
catch up on here.
Oh, we do? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Why can't we charge the battery through Wi-Fi? Asks Jocko.
Maybe if Tesla had won versus Edison, we'd have wireless electricity, but that's not happening for a while. You got to stick it right on top of the charger now. Yeah.
Will reverse wireless charging be enough to charge dead iPhone to essentially recharge dead iPhone?
You answer the question, David. I'm finding the comment.
Probably.
Yeah.
Rick is not impressed by reverse wireless charging.
Yeah.
Lucky prefers Touch ID over Face ID. I think primarily the reason Apple went with Face ID is just the much more secure nature of Face ID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
K Nagel wants to know, have you addressed EMF? I got up late logging on. EMF?
Electromagnetic frequencies.
Okay.
David, remember the 5G debate? Dr. Paul? We spoke to? I guess I spoke to him more directly.
I'm aware. Yeah.
The jury is out on that, really. I mean, countries like France have restricted the ability to put 5G towers near schools. Some people say it's totally unharmful. Other people are convinced it gives people cancer. The reality may be somewhere in between. But I do like, there is science between a child's skull versus an adult skull and how much those frequencies go through the skull. So also in the US, and this is a really actually valid point, the way that radiation from phones is measured is averaged over either 7 seconds or 30 seconds, right? So the way 5G works, though, is these like very intense pulses that happen. It's pulsed EMFs. So if you take a pulse that lasts, that's really strong, but then lasts a few nanoseconds, and you average that out over 30 seconds, it looks like these phones are emitting no radiation at all. But the fact is we're getting hit with these pulsed things. There's a lot of space in between. It all averages out to be okay. And yeah, I don't know. We talked about it now.
To be more research into it before we start hopping on the, it's definitely
yeah, I'm not saying it's definitely.
Conspiracy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just
I know
saying.
you're not.
Yeah.
Some people do, though.
Yep.
And you're responsible. Why can't we charge the battery through radio waves? It's a good question.
Charge through radio waves, says Jocko. I'm not sure, because that doesn't provide power.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, Jocko, are you messing with us here? Radio waves? Come on.
It's gonna get increasingly more absurd. Why can't we charge our iPhone through brainwaves? And
yeah, because when I want to plug in a light bulb, I just turn on the radio to a certain. Yeah. Oh, geez, hitting my microphone now.
Why can't?
What?
Okay.
What?
Just another jog. Why can't we charge the battery through LTE or Wi-Fi? Yeah.
Okay, so through Ethernet, there is a technology called Power over Ethernet, which probably could be converted into the right kind of charging technology. But you have to plug in the Ethernet cable. That's a cable.
Yeah. Ray Martin wants to know more about the shortcut you created to have a conversation with ChatGPT.
Yeah, I should make that publicly available. The shortcut works like this. Let me check out my phone. Let's say, so I don't have a side cam hooked up right now, but it's just a shortcut that I hook up and I say, write a poem about Ray Martin's conversation with iPhones and shortcuts and ChatGPT. Let's see. Today. See, it's not as fast as Siri.
Well, that's processing. Tammy asked, do you have an affiliate link with Apple? Does Apple do affiliate?
Not for their products, but they do for the iTunes
Ray
store.
Martin had a chat with iPhones and shortcuts. He asked them all the questions they had brought up. He wanted to know what they could do and how they could help him out. He asked about the shortcuts and the different apps, how they could help him with his daily tasks. He asked about the features and the different ways to get the most out of his iPhone today. He asked about the ChatGPT and if it could help him out. He wanted to know how it worked and if it could make his life easier. The iPhones and shortcuts answered all his questions, explaining how the ChatGPT could help him out. It could answer his questions and help him find what he needed and make his life much easier without a doubt.
Okay.
That was Nobel Prize winning, I'd say.
Yeah, so it works, and then it would ask me to follow up, and then I hooked it up so that I can either say stop, and it'll stop the whole back and forth, or I can say save to notes, and it will save the whole conversation to my notes, because sometimes I'm talking to it in the car, I'm asking it questions like, hey, is there software that can do this or that? And it comes back with these names of software products, and then I can't remember them. So that save to notes thing is very cool. Yeah, I'll work on making that public, because right now ChatGPT, the way that this works is using an API and an API key. So I can't just send you mine, or else, it would charge me money for you to use it. That cost me, probably, a tenth of a cent. So you're welcome, Ray. Yeah. One thing about Samsung. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we got from Lucky making the case for Touch ID over Face ID. Suppose your girlfriend is beside you and you're getting in your hidden or deleted photos album and accidentally your Face ID opened the album. That could be disastrous.
Yeah, that's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
Or David. David's married.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't offer any feedback on that, Lucky. But you should probably,
My feedback for you would be to hide the hidden album on your phone.
In settings photos?
Yeah, and then to...
My feedback for you is that if you're founding your relationship on dishonesty, it's probably not going to work out in the long run. It's really, who knows, maybe she's doing it too. Does anybody else have advice for Lucky here? I don't know if it's going to work out well for him in the long term.
Yeah. See You Never says just charge it with your microwave. That'll work even better than radio. Yeah, there was the 4chan rumor about... Waves.
Super chat. Super Jocko says, do electrons flow through... Oh, boy. He asked us a technical super chat question. Unfortunately, there's no refund button, Jocko. Do electrons flow through wires or just excite the electrons nearby? Why do we need batteries at all? Can't we just activate machines with photons or rays?
I keep interrupting you. Could be a good question for ChatGPT or the Bing AI.
Yeah, you're right. Should I actually ask it?
I think you should.
I think I should.
No idea.
It's worth a super chat. All right. Do electrons flow through wires or just excite the electrons nearby? ? Why do we need batteries at all? ? Can't we just activate machines with photons or rays? ? Sometimes its translation is, what the heck?
Yeah, Jocko, if this question stumps the AI, then I'll feel less bad about having no idea.
Yeah. Electrons
flow through wires, but they can also be excited in the area around them. We need batteries because they provide a steady and reliable source of energy. Photons and other forms of energy can be used to activate machines, but batteries are often more efficient and reliable.
True.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah, the photons, I think there's a lot of research into that, but they're just not good enough at this point. There's just, like, you can't transfer that much power.
Yes.
Well, there we go. We learned something today.
Done into using photons as an energy source for machines.
Okay.
But the technology is not quite advanced enough yet to make
Sorry.
it a reliable and efficient source of energy.
I haven't built in a
Batteries
stop
are
button
still
yet.
the preferred option for powering machines.
Stop.
Well, it's cool to know. I didn't know that, and maybe one day.
So how about that for that? I mean, if you ask Siri that question, she's just going to have absolutely no idea.
Well, you're gonna
AJ says-
get
Yeah, go ahead.
you're gonna get a Google search with a Wikipedia page about photons.
Yeah, exactly. I found this on the web. AJ says he doesn't know who uses Apple phone. Tammy says that like Alexa. Alexa's not that smart. I have a friend that has Alexa. I'm retired, so anytime is good. Rusty, that's great. Good for you. And congratulations on your retirement. You're spending it well, if I may say so myself. West Coast is K. AJ says he's not from the U.S., so he's fine. Naoko Asami says neither can I. Finland clock, 1800. What does that mean? I don't understand in Europe why the clocks go
6
up to these
p.m.
numbers that nobody understands. And then you ask what the temperature is and you get some crazy low number. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Rohan Patel says
they
hello.
have a more efficient system over there than we do.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I like Face ID. It is daytime working hours, luckily on a lunch break. So ZH, that was what I was kind of hoping for. And in the U.S., we've got, right now, it's early morning in the West Coast. So I was hoping that people might turn us on their way to work. Just saying, on the bus. Maybe in the car. They've got us sort of not watching us with the video, but listening. Mateo says, bye. AJ says, I prefer Touch ID because it's faster with less effort. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of effort, AJ. Tammy, do you have an affiliate link with Apple? We already answered that one, and it's actually pathetic, the App Store affiliate links. But I did see that they had a promotion. They want us to promote MLS Soccer, which is new on Apple TV Plus, and they're paying these kind of bounties for it, where if we refer people to it and they sign up, we could make like $6.
I like MLS. I like soccer. We could do a little soccer segment next time around.
Yeah, and put an affiliate link.
I did have an idea for a new live stream segment. So there's the show First Take, which used to have Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith arguing all the time. My idea was Worst Take, where we would just do something similar and be obnoxious about something and take opposing sides and get really fired up about things we don't believe in.
All right. Well, Pebbles Bam Bam just gave us $20, which I can get fired up about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pebbles. Appreciate it very much. I'm keeping track. I'm trying to keep up with the comments here. And some of you I'm going to miss, and I apologize for that. Use salt water. Too many people use their phone, just the speaker, because they believe in radiation. Verbose Siri. It is true. The Chat GPT does get a bit verbose. It's loquacious. Touch on 5G versus 2.4G Wi-Fi. I'm looking at smart plugs, and they're all 2.4G. I have a 5G Apple router. I don't think Apple makes routers that don't have the 2.4 gigahertz band as well. I have a router down here that actually combines both at once. Most of the time, you can choose to enable the 2.4 gigahertz one, which is actually great for the slower devices or the devices that don't need as much bandwidth, because then it leaves the 5 gigahertz one for your TV and your laptop where you do need more bandwidth, and the 2.4 gigahertz one actually has some more range. AJ says, sorry, Payette. Well, sorry too. Ask that to AI. That's too much. David, do you want to take some of these comments and tell me what to highlight?
Yeah, sure. So let me skip down a little bit. Kay Nagel says, dependence on computer technology will find us back in the Stone Age when it all shuts down. My library is full of classics. You will need me as a friend.
I thought we were already friends. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm your friend already.
A lot of
Actually,
reactions.
my chemistry teacher in high school, his last name was Nagel, Mr. Nagel. I liked him. It's blinking again in here. That's a good sign.
Tammy. Thank you very much, Tammy. Tammy's been the superstar of the week, I got to say.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like these new little animations too. And it's a little blinding over here, but it does. That's great.
AJ says you guys will be jobless if this continues, and assuming referring to the AI. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the impact of AI and Chat GPT and all these chatbots is on YouTube, because it's easy enough to scrape websites. I think it might be more challenging to do video. But
why do you think we're doing a live stream right now? Like, it actually is on my mind, because the video stuff really can be recreated, but I do think that people will always want to experience the imperfection of another human being until they program AIs that can emulate the human imperfections, which is probably at least, long enough away for me to be able to not worry about it for this moment in time. I do think AI presents an amazing opportunity for any young person that wants to become adept at it to find ways to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Taurus, I'm also a Taurus. Hi, Legends. What is the best DNS for gaming, working, etc.? Best regards.
Best DNS? You want to take this one?
I don't know.
Okay, Cloudflare. 1.1.1.1 is my favorite. I think it's the fastest. I also trust the company. That's what's most important. And Pebbles, bam, bam, $20. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated.
Leah Matilla with an interesting question here. When are we going to be able to name text groups any information from Apple? So we don't really have any inside sources about new software updates from Apple, so we can't help you out there. When do you think we're going to be able to name text groups?
I have no idea.
Okay, fair enough.
It'd be interesting. It's a good idea for a feature. Maybe that's an iOS 17 feature that we all want.
We'll see.
Yeah.
AJ wants to know, Messi or Ronaldo?
That's definitely your...
Yeah. After the World Cup, I don't even see how it's a debate anymore. It's obviously Messi.
It's a message.
And the Mean Sheets wants us to know that soccer is pronounced football. We might want to do a soccer thing, and that could be our first worst take segment, soccer versus football, and all driving people to sign up for MLS through Apple.
Soccer versus football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about that. Here's why everyone who says football is wrong. It's because the term soccer comes from association. So that's why we call it. It was like the something association. So that's where the soccer comes from. So I think soccer is actually correct, not football.
Yeah. And I totally disagree, because I'm supposed to. It's supposed to be called football. You kick it with your foot, David.
Yeah, there you go.
Unlike American football, where you hardly kick it at all. That's true. Tammy says to go. Love you bunches. Have a lunch date. Enjoy your lunch, Tammy. I hope you enjoy it a lot. And Pebbles says, God bless you guys. We can help people for free. Kind of.
Yeah.
We do get paid, though. Kind of. Because if you watch an ad prior to one of our videos, I mean, let's not give us too much credit here. All of us YouTubers. There's something in it for us, and it's called money.
I mean, these days you can't even skip the ads on YouTube. So
you can if you buy premium, which is what I did.
Okay, yeah.
I had enough of the ads. I held out.
Should I start criticizing YouTube on our stream on YouTube and see what happens?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's criticism at all. They offer an option to not see ads.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Foosball. It's USA versus world. How do I tell?
I think Australia also calls it soccer, but don't quote me on that.
Okay. David Lynch says, Conever says, it's Fußball. Ja, es ist Fußball. Ich spiele Fußball. Soccer. It's hit the like. Hit the like is great. And NIK 90910 just says no. No. Well, hey, this is good. This is a nice chat we're having today. I think we have other things to talk about too, David. How about Zoom? Laying off 1,300 employees.
Yeah, there have been a lot of tech layoffs over the past couple of months. I think they might have overhired during the immense growth all these big tech companies were seeing, and now they're realizing they have to scale back.
I don't know if it's really they overhired or they just needed more employees than they do now, right? Like everybody wants to say that they did something wrong, but it makes sense though, right? Like during the pandemic, Zoom had to scale their business operations up tremendously. Now that they're scaled up, they probably don't need as many people anymore. They're
Yeah,
responsible
that makes
to
sense.
shareholders. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but it's certainly not a world today where you could be guaranteed a lifetime career. Hey, the one.
The one. Hey guys,
one
hope
is
you're
back.
both having an amazing day. Yeah, it's been all right. Warming up, waking up. My 2 cups of coffee is really starting to like hit now. So
Perfect.
I'm really
All right, go.
Really
Rapid
feeling it.
fire. Yeah, people complain that we talk too quite fast, so we'll see how that works out. Okay, Nick now says, I'm sorry, I would like it. He regrets his no. Nick, there is no apology necessary. Ad block for YouTube, Rez. I'm not even going to put that on the screen. That doesn't exist, and you shouldn't do it. Soccer, mate. Yeah. Since iPhone 16 update, I have a few of my contacts that now when they text me, I have no notification or sound that I received a new message. Any suggestions about how to fix this, David?
get no notification or sound that is do not disturb on.
Could be. Yeah.
Could be.
Few of my contacts. Yeah, you can edit individual contacts to make them silent. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it could be a focus mode. Yeah, focus modes would do that. And I would also just check out, make sure that you have a good connection. Check out sounds and haptics and settings. Saini Levy introduces an interesting comment of 3 crazy faces. Yep.
Apple power cables. It's so bad. Also, why is Apple doing that to their customers? We pay thousands of dollars.
If you're paying thousands of dollars for a power cable through Apple, I've got a plot of land I can sell you to. I mean, why are they doing it? Because they can. Because people buy them. And they're going to.
Just wait till Apple adopts USB-C on the iPhone. You have to buy a whole batch of new cables, and all your old cables will be useless.
Oh, maybe. No, they'll sell a dongle, David. They'll sell like a $20 dongle. It'll be $10. Yeah. Don't worry. They'll let you buy that too. Yeah. You have a great day, Nick. We appreciate you as well. Pebbles sends our vids to their family, and then they make some changes. Thanks so much, Pebbles. You're the best. We appreciate it. We absolutely do. Yeah. So next story. Surprise, China's Android phones, the top Android phones out of China collect more info.
Shocker.
Yeah.
I'm
so we're talking
shocked.
OnePlus phones, Realme phones. There are maps that are, and I mean, a lot of information gets sent, but I saw that they're actually sending IMEI numbers, MAC addresses. IMEI means that a phone number could get spoofed, and other data without users' knowledge or consent. And people are saying that malicious code may be embedded in pre-installed apps on those phones. Malware. Comes with malware. What
Interesting that we're talking about this now. Vic Hall just put something in the chat. I just logged on to watch you guys. Should I cancel my S23 order due to the China info issue?
I don't think so, because we're not talking about Samsung phones, I don't believe. However, that does lead us right into our next topic, which is insanity. Bloatware pushes the Galaxy S23 Android OS operating system to 60 gigabytes. That is insane. So you buy a 128 gigabyte phone, and half of the storage is already gone because of the operating system. It's insane.
That's a lot.
It's 4 times bigger than the Google Pixel operating system, and it is twice the size of Windows 11. Like, I don't know what they're doing with the 60 gigabytes of stuff, but you know that if it has 60 gigabytes of operating system, that it's going to contain a lot of stuff that's going to slow the phone down, bloatware, all that stuff. It's got a lot of stuff. I'm saying the word stuff a lot.
I wonder if it's going to be fixed by a future software update. That's kind of ridiculous. It's
insane. Yeah. So if you bought a 128 gigabyte phone and you want to take some photos on it, I might buy a bigger one if you are sold on the S23. It'll be interesting to see what it comes with that's 60 gigabytes. I mean, that's huge. David, I think there's a question here for you. Do you recommend upgrading to the AirPods Pro 2 from the first gen? And which Mac is better let's do the AirPods question first.
AirPods Pro 2, a lot better than the first gen.
Yeah,
100%.
One of the things that I like more is they move the vents to the side, so transparency mode and noise canceling sounds a lot more natural. There's less pressure in your ears for the noise canceling. And which Mac is better as a first Mac? MacBook Pro 2023 or Mac Mini Studio? Mainly for video editing and using the MacBook, the Apple ecosystem, excuse me. I think the MacBook Pro. We use MacBook Pros for video editing. I think that... go ahead.
Maybe unless you're like editing movies. I don't know.
Thanks, David. Yeah. So if you're doing a lot of 8K video editing, you might want to go for a studio. But really, the M2 MacBook Pros, M2 Pro, M2 Max, they're very powerful for video editing. You can do a lot at once. That's how we do all of our videos. Yeah.
Toledo 08. How often should I have to charge my iPhone? I guess that kind of depends on how you use it. If you're playing a lot of heavy games or using the Facebook app, then probably more often than if you were just sending texts and making phone calls.
Yeah. And really, it doesn't. You could charge it whenever you want to.
Yeah.
I get a full day. Do you, David?
More or less, yeah.
I do.
And maybe a little bit less.
Yep. TikTok, other apps are getting enough data. Samsung's made in South Korea. Yes, Rez, that is the truth. They have like Samsung City. The gajillion people work there. It's awesome.
If my iMessage gets through, does it mean the person is reading or could it be blocked? How do I tell?
If your iMessage gets through, then it's not blocked. Like if it says delivered, it's not blocked, I believe. And I don't know, is there a way to turn off the reading indicators, David?
The red receipts?
Not the red
you
receipts.
mean like the three dots that appear?
The three dots. Oh, that's the typing. That's not reading.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I feel like we would know that. I don't think there is. I think we would know that.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, if my iMessage gets through, does it mean the person is reading or could it be blocked? Yeah, it should say delivered. If it doesn't say anything at all, it might not be going through. Yeah. Oren says, thank you for your answer. Well, thank you for the question, Oren. Yeah. So I think the Galaxy S23 is just, I don't know what's going on in that phone, but there's no reason it needs to be 60 gigs.
No.
It's just insane. Just insanity. Super Bowl, David. Can we say Super Bowl? The big game?
Can we say Super Bowl?
Can we say it? Isn't it copyrighted? I know the like all of the channels, they have to say like the big game. They can't say Super Bowl or else they have to pay money.
Oh.
Yeah. You know that like other, like you'll see, they'll say Super Bowl on the channel it's on, but then on other channels they'll be like, oh yeah, the big game, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the big game between the team from Philadelphia and the team from Kansas City on a field.
Yes,
lines, grass, and numbers.
Yep, with a ball.
We want to poll you all in the chat. Who do you think will win the Super Bowl? This will be our last stream before the big event.
Yes, the big game, the super game.
Super game.
Yep. So let's see. So we've got two quarterbacks involved, right? You've got the Eagles, and you've got the San Francisco. No, you've got the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think technically there might be four quarterbacks involved because they're backups, and that's actually important for this game because Patrick Mahomes is a high ankle sprain. So
yeah, but he's gonna hop around just fine.
Yeah.
He's pretty good in that last game, unless they try to knock him out. So then there's the Eagles, the bird team. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Jalen Hurts, Mahomes?
I think the Eagles are probably the favorites right now. Rez in the chat says Green Bay. As a Packers co-owner, I'm disappointed our team couldn't make it very far this year.
Yeah,
it's upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, his contract is real big. I was looking at the statistics of the quarterback salaries, or I guess Mahomes gets paid a lot, but he was the exception to the rule. All of the other teams that did well weren't spending that much on quarterbacks. Excuse me.
Yep. Yeah, well, the way to do it now is you put your quarterback, you get a quarterback on a rookie contract, build a really strong team around them, and hopefully they can get it done.
Yeah,
that's been the successful model.
Yeah. So Mahomes, I think the Eagles are going to, or not the Eagles. I think the other team, the Chiefs, are going to win. What do you think, David?
I mean, it depends on how healthy the Chiefs are. They've got a lot of injuries, and if Mahomes is hurt and Kelsey's hurt, they don't stand a chance.
Yeah. Well, AJ's going for the Eagles.
AJ's going for the Eagles. Jonathan's going for the Chiefs. Mean Sheet says the big soccer game. Close.
Soccer game. That's good.
Rusty's saying it's rigged. Who's it going to be rigged for this year? I'm curious.
I agree, Rusty. Who's it rigged for? Mahomes.
Yeah. Well, there have been a lot of now that all the major sports leagues are partnering with sports books. There's a lot of conspiracies around whether or not the games are actually being rigged.
Yeah, I don't do the sports betting thing.
Yeah.
David does. You enjoy it though.
Yeah, it's
I enjoy it when we're watching a basketball game and I have somebody to root for because you bet on it.
Yeah,
or root against. Yeah,
$10 at a time. It's fun and it's
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Pebbles says Eagles.
The chat's heavy in favor of the Eagles right now.
All right, Sadie Levy. Yeah, heavily in favor of the Eagles. Interesting. See, I'm a Giants fan, so I can't root for the Eagles. I'm just done. I tried to root for the Giants. They're hard to root for.
Here we go. Here's what Jake Z wants to know. UFC, Volkanovski, or Makachev? Makachev. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Who's going to win that one?
I don't like USC. It's too violent for me.
Yeah,
David?
it's Islam's going to win that fight for sure. I've been getting into UFC Rainmakers now, and I got a pack the other day. Serial number to 1, but it's some guy who's a heavy underdog, so I don't know what to do. When
you just said Islam is going to win the fight, David, are you referring to a first name of someone?
Yeah, Makachev.
So those of us who aren't familiar with these people think that you just said a religion. It's a fight between religions, but that's not accurate.
It's
yeah.
Islam Makachev and I'm totally pronouncing his name wrong.
That's his name. Yep.
I think it's Alexander Volkanovski.
Yes, exactly. Not some sort of a religious battle. See, this is why I stay away from UFC. Okay. No, because my son blankets and pillows everywhere. Well, that is certainly the right way to do it. I remember when I was but a small child, my best friend Nick at the time crossed the creek. We decided to put pillows over our heads with like the soft part in front. So it kind of fit. It sounds bad. But then we just kind of like punched each other. And I gave him such an uppercut. I felt it connect through the pillow. I think I missed the pillow. Poor kid. That was the end of that game. Yeah. He cried. Jalen Hurts is injured, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got like a shoulder thing, I think. He's
what does that matter for throwing the football?
Okay. Yeah, I think it might have been his left shoulder, actually. I'm not positive, though.
Yeah. MIKL.
He's a runner. He's a runner. He's more of a runner. So he's gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Either that or they have to fire the referees. I think it's very frustrating when the refs get all the calls wrong. I mean, that's why I don't bet. I find it too frustrating because you could do everything right, like in terms of the analysis and the betting, and then the refs just change the outcome of the game.
Sure, happened to the Lakers versus Celtics a couple weeks ago.
It's pronounced Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he reheard it in the NFC Championship game. Gotta go catch you again, and thanks, Suzanne. We're gonna be wrapping this up too. Don't worry, Sandy Levy. You make my day now. You made our day too. 75%
Eagles. That's
wow.
That's a lot.
75%.
Well, the mantra for, not never mind, nothing.
I don't understand.
We're not. I'm not gonna. Yeah, no. We're just not gonna get into
on.
Picks for the game. Yeah.
Picks for the game. What?
Picks. I think that now I'm more leaning towards the Chiefs now. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is there any conspiracy involved, or
it's like the fade the public sort of narrative.
What does that mean?
Like
we're in overtime right now on the stream for the record.
We're in overtime.
Just keep talking.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So, if the public is heavily on one side to win the game,
right,
that's usually a sign that you should take the other side of the game.
Interesting. So you're saying that we could use our YouTube chat to figure out who to bet on. We'll poll them, and then based on
I don't know if 24
responses.
I don't know if 24 is large enough of a sample size, but
yeah, I don't know either. Go Chiefs. AJ, David Lynch would kick my butt. Philadelphia is a 3-point favorite.
Really, it's up to 3 now, huh? Oh,
is that that's not a lot.
I mean, it's kind of a lot for a.
It's a field goal.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't understand betting. It's a lot.
Yeah.
What are they going to get? Safety? Are we betting UFC? Only works for stocks, not games. We should poll the stocks.
No, UFC. I'm going all Rainmakers. So Rainmakers is an NFT game where you get cards like it's like a baseball card, but it's NFT, fake. And you can use it to enter.
Oh, that's neat.
Fantasy contests.
NFT with some sort of a value attached to it.
It's got utility, unlike every other NFT on the planet.
Wow.
You can actually do something with it.
Buck Hackenflash says 45-7 Eagles.
Wow.
That's crazy. I hope not, because that would be a bad game. I like that especially when I'm not attached to one of the teams, really. I like the games that are good. Philadelphia. Yep, only works for stocks. Chiefs are going to win it, says Rusty Riddenauer. Rusty, I like your photo there. It's very throwback.
Rez wants us to talk stocks next time. Yeah, I mean, as we've given out, we're not financial advisors, we're not experts. I've given out a stock tip and a sports betting tip. This is just we're gonna have to take this down. Just cut it all out.
No, we don't have to take it down. We should have that. We should have idiot stock. Not you're an idiot, David. Just totally uninformed stock and betting tips.
Well, I don't think it's. I mean, I think the Google stock the reaction people have had to the Google stock over the AI thing is just it's an overreaction.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, 8% of the company's value. Like what?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
That's crazy. That's insane. Considering they make $0 from it at this point, and it doing badly does not hurt their bottom line, but will help it. Jim Brink. No way, Buck. It's going to be a blowout. Saney, no apologies necessary. And have to start dinner. Well, it's a little early for that, so you never. He's probably in one of those countries where the numbers go really high. And Rusty says that's his grandfather. How is that? That's cool. Well, your grandfather was quite the looker, Rusty.
Talk horticulture next stream.
Mean Sheets, I like your photo too. And that's the look that I would give you regarding that comment. I don't
There's there's snow all over the ground here, so there's literally no horticulture here.
Potato charging phone? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about plants.
Oh, like that, but as opposed to a potato clock, we get a potato charging iPhone.
Yeah, work about as well. So I had plants, and then I got cats, and the cats just would get into the potted plants, and just all the dirt would end up on the floor.
Dig out the dirt. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just one after the other. So then I got rid of the plants and kept the cats. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
That's the choice I would have made too.
Well, yeah. Yeah. They give me a lot more than the plants did. They're much better. So I think this might be a perfect time to end the stream, speaking of cats. And all
right.
What do you think, David?
That works for me. Thanks, everyone, for hopping in.
Yeah.
Check out the links in the description of the video to find our Discord, social media stuff. And there's also the big join button. You can join Tammy, who joined just the other day on a live stream, get a whole bunch of cool stuff. And thanks for watching.
Yep. And MC, for the record, that stuff